Hi, this is Kim with Mom's Creative Moments. Welcome back to my channel. You are here for another lesson in Scrapbooking 101.5, and this, I believe, is lesson 3. We're going to talk about title pages today, and I'm going to show you some examples of some title pages that I have done, and just to inspire you and give you some ideas for what you might want to use in your albums. In later episodes of this series, we will actually put a few together so you can see how that might work for you. But in this video, we're just going to show some samples and some examples and talk about how they are designed. And it should be really fun and hopefully not too long. As you know, my last video went a little bit longer than I had planned or wanted it to. I'm really trying to keep these about 15 minutes or under so that they're really quick for you. So hopefully this one will stay in line with that. Let's check out my workspace and take a look at some of our past albums. Okay, so let's talk about some title pages. You can do a lot of different things with title pages. So what I did was I asked my daughter Emily to go over and to our albums and pull out some different samples of title pages. So I haven't looked at these ahead of time. This is just going to be me explaining as we go. This title page, as you can see, was for 2020, and this particular title collage I did not do. I bought this from a person who is much more effective with their Cricut skills than I am, or they may have used a silhouette, I'm not really sure, but I just thought it was super cute and really conveyed our whole feelings excuse me, feelings from this particular year with dealing with COVID and my dad passing away and lots of moving around and family stuff. It just was a really rough year, and so the holidays, this is a holiday book. This is the beginning of a holiday book. This is a border punch, a decorative border punch that I made a frame with. This is one piece, and I can show you how to do that. It's a super fun thing to do, and it really dresses up your page very quickly. So really fun. Let's check out another album and talk about some other options. Okay, so this is one of our family albums. Oh, okay, so I used a template for this one, and I believe this. So the title that's on here is actually written with a pen, and it was written using a font on my Cricut. My Cricut wrote it for me. I don't often do that, but I did do it this time. So that's why it smeared a little bit in a couple of places and was a little cut off. Sometimes when I'm experimenting, I'm learning as I'm going, and I don't feel like redoing stuff, so that's where that came from. This portion down here and up here is using a template, one of the Creative Memories templates, a portion of it, and I think it was actually a template that was designed for cards and borders. So and this is a variety of blue paper that I think I used in this album, and I just pulled it out to create kind of a focal point to draw our eye in to the title. It's not a page that's super involved. I apologize for the glare from the page protectors, but it gets the job done. So, and it was fun to put together. This is one of the albums from our time when we lived in New York. We lived in Brooklyn for a little while, so New York City memories. This one is a really fun one to make. You simply make an apple and then make all of these ribbons come off of the apple, and these are all papers that I used in the pages in this album. So I don't know if I've ever said this before, but typically I do my title page last. It's not always the first page that I do. For my adventure trip type albums, when we've gone on vacation, I do tend to do the title page first, because I'm presenting that to you kind of in an orderly, chronological fashion. But when I'm doing my family albums, I often don't do the title page until the very last. And that's what allows me to use my scraps to create something like this. The letters that are on here I made with my Cricut, but the rest of it I cut freehand. So, kind of a fun one. All right, this one is from when we moved to Logan. This is another template that I modified just a little bit with this punched border that went across. So I printed the letters, or cut the letters using my Cricut. The top is just a piece of paper that's been cut down, and then these are just 1-inch strips that are all cut to, I believe they're 1 by 4 inches, and have roughly 1/4 of an inch in between. And there are 9 of them. This is a template that we had a while back. I don't think we still have it available, however, but it does make a striking title page and allows you to kind of do, I did mine here kind of in a monochromatic paper pack that I had, but you could use your scraps from the album as well to create this page, and use those for the 1-inch strips down here, depending on what you wanted to do. But you could do a multitude of different things with the punched border that goes across. So many different themes. All right, here's another one of our albums from New York. And I just used some, I think this is a punched border that I cut apart, and then I set the hearts in the shape of an apple for New York. I made my own little stem from another bit of punched paper that I had, and the letters again are cut on my Cricut. I took a pen, a silver pen, and did a little stitching around the first letter of all of the main words, and then just some dots for the numbers down here. So just kind of a fun one. And then the extra hearts in the middle. I think I had the rest of it all filled in, and then kind of went, I think it needs more, so I added the hearts in the middle and then put the letters on top. This is Alaska, one of our Alaska trips. Well, we only went on one Alaska trip, but I have 2 albums from this trip. This is a map that we were given by, I think, by the cruise line. We were on an organized trip. We had a tour guide and a huge group of people that we didn't know that were with us, and you can see the route that we took. We got on the boat in Vancouver. We sailed to Skagway. It took 3 days to get there. Then we got off and we took a bus to Dawson City. Then we flew from Dawson City to Fairbanks. From Fairbanks we went to Denali. From Denali we took a train back to Anchorage, and then we flew home from Anchorage. That's a very short version of a 13-day trip, 14-day trip, something like that. So I like to put maps in so that I can see and have a reference of where we were going and all the different places that we were on the trip. So that's a fun thing to put on your first page of your album as well. These letters again are cut on my Cricut, And I always try to ensure that I have the year, and if there's more than one volume, I add something to indicate that this is just the first or this is just the second of more than one album, so that whoever the person is that's looking at the album knows that there's more that they should have seen already or should look for. Okay, this is another Christmas album, but Christmas sometimes takes on just all the holidays that time of year. And we went to the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade while we lived in Brooklyn. And I say we in the sense that my husband took our children to go see the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, because I think you have to arrive at like, I don't know, 5:30 in the morning or something. And I didn't want to do that and have to come home and make Thanksgiving dinner. So I stayed home and cooked Thanksgiving dinner so that when they came back from the parade, we could eat Thanksgiving. This is a pre-printed page. So the deer and the trees were pre-printed on the page. Then I added these little leaves. They are stickers. And the turkey down here is a sticker. And then the words I cut on my Cricut. So again, the year, the location, what it was. And then after the Thanksgiving Day Parade pictures is our Christmas pictures proceed from there. So a fun holiday album. Here's another holiday album. I think this is my first one, the very first of all the Spillman family holiday albums. Look at that. I was such a baby. So was my husband. Isn't that sweet? That's our little Heidi girl. And she was just a baby. So this is an 8x10 sleeve. We don't sell 8x10 sleeves anymore, but we do have 8.5x11 sleeves. And they've served the same function as this one. I just put my Christmas letter in that every year. And then these were some stickers of the Nativity. So I created the Nativity on the first page and kind of have the shepherd pointing to the star, because this was the beginning of this was our first Christmas album. So super fun. I like to do that with stickers, and we don't get that many of them that actually show anything related to the Savior, which is sad. But I like to use them when I find them. Okay, this is another album from New York, and was kind of encompassed our move from Brooklyn to Logan, Utah, which is where we were before we moved to our current home. And so that's why we've got Brooklyn, New York to Logan, Utah, and I put little bits of the map and kind of a connecting line to show the move and the time frame, July to August 2017. That was during the time when we were moving around. So this is a frame. I'm sorry. Yeah, so this is a piece of paper that I used one of our jumbo custom cutting system patterns on, and I cut out the center to use for something else, and then decided that I wanted to use this paper on this title page. It made a nice frame for the outside edge of this title page. So you never know, and this is why scrapbookers are known for holding on to absolutely everything, because you never know when you might want to use it, right? And that was certainly the case here. So super fun. I hope that this has inspired you and given you some ideas of things that you can use in your own albums for title pages. Again, I will go back and share with you some of the ins and outs and how-tos of how to make some of these title pages, so that if you like them, you can go make them in your own books. But there's no time today. I just wanted to share some ideas, and if you have the tools and the know-how, go ahead and see what you can do. And then comment and let me know how you did. I would love to know how things are going for you and if this helped or not. Thanks so much for joining me. Until next time, I hope you have many more creative moments. We'll see you for our next Scrapbooking 101.5 class. Take care.